So I definitely got reminded to stick to my boundaries today because y'all are negative. Like, all of y'all are just so negative, and I can just go home. That's what I've been doing, is going home. So I had to figure out like a new way, and I was trying to just let it go in one ear and out the other, but it wasn't working. And I was being bombarded with nonstop negative thoughts, and people just didn't realize like how judgmental they're being and how negative they're being and how the things they say is purely focused on them. And it happened so many times. And I just got tired. I was so overwhelmed. And so I sort of like took a moment to regroup. And it was a little awkward, but I'm glad I did it because I needed to. I needed to figure out, how do I create space, because my family just has a habit of complaining. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying it comes in a lot for me, and it's really, really loud. And it's just like, if you're saying these things out loud, I could only imagine what you're saying to yourself. And so I'm being empathetic, but my empathy is in silence right now because I am just like, sorry, I keep saying like a lot. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna stop. Hopefully. I had a really good day. Overall, I just couldn't figure out how to listen to what people were saying and not take it in. And it takes a lot of practice to do that. A lot. Because I was doing it, but then it was like, ugh, another one. And the part of you wants to correct, or not correct, but inform. Because if that's who you are, like, that's who you are. I'm not here to judge, and I'm not here to change you. I'm just here trying to inform you. But, there's balance in that, because everyone isn't going to be able to hear me, and everyone isn't going to be able to understand. And there's this lady who mentions the starfish story. Basically, a bunch of starfish are on the sea, and a little boy is walking by, and he's throwing the starfish back into the sea. Old man walks up and says, why are you throwing that starfish in there? There's too many on the beach for you to ever save. And the little boy picks one up and throws it into the ocean and says, but I saved that one. And so I'm not saying that I'm trying to go around saving people. I'm just saying that I hear negativity, and I know from experience that when you say those things out loud, that really in actuality, you're saying it to yourself 10 times more, because somebody projected that thought onto you, and you think that that's the only way that life is supposed to work and life is supposed to be handled. And it's just annoying to hear people always doubt and always fear and always assume. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm sure I do the same, but I don't have someone who can tell me in a positive way when I'm being super negative or fearful or doubtful. But I do know, for the people that I do trust, when they do tell me, let something go, or I'm holding myself back, or I'm holding someone else back, like, I do drop it immediately. So I'm super proud of myself for being able to do that. It took me some time, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not, especially with being in quarantine, and especially with realizing that the amount of negativity and judgment that comes out of people's mouths, like once you start to notice it, it is super hard to ignore and overlook. I just gotta move on and gotta put my boundaries up, and I had to find my balance. And music really, really helps me because it literally blocks out all of the little things that I see, especially since if someone is talking really badly about other people in front of you, best believe they're talking really badly about you behind your back, or they're saying little things underneath their breath or just in their head and having an attitude for things that you have no clue about. And to see it, you're just like, just talk to people. Like, it's really that simple. If I'm bothering you, then talk to me. If you're bothering me, then I'll talk to you. But the moment I pick up on the fact that you're being snarky, or you're just saying fearful things and doubtful things and things that you're assuming, then I have to find my own balance and boundaries in those moments, and remember that I'm not going to be able to let everyone know and understand how they're getting in the way of themselves by focusing on some of that negativity. So I'm just getting there. And I'm glad that, it's happening this way. And it took me probably a good hour to understand, or to get to a place where I could be happy about my day again. Like, I caught a fish today. Super excited about that. We ended up putting it back in the water, but it's just always good to be able to do it. I hung out with my family. I had to keep my distance, but we were all fishing together, so that was nice. I probably should have taken a picture, but the truth is I don't look back at majority of my pictures anyways. I don't really know a lot of people who do, unless they post things and then it's like memory lane type stuff. But maybe I'll get there. Maybe I'll want to look back, especially when life starts to slow down and I'm older and I don't have any kids living with me. I mean, I don't have any kids living with me now, but once I have retired and all that type of stuff, I might want to look back at these things and talk about them, or talk about it with my grandkids at that point in time. Maybe, hopefully. So I will pay a little bit closer attention to that in the coming times that I come here, because we're leaving now. So it's just me reflecting on the things that I could have done. But overall, it was such a good trip, such an amazing time. Got to spend time with my family and my grandparents and my mother and niece and uncle and cousins. And the town isn't the same anymore, but life isn't the same anymore, and the conditions the world is in a chaotic state, a fearful state. And sometimes I get so lost in the fact that I have surrounded myself with positivity, or just myself, my own positive thoughts, or my social media account has mostly positive people that I follow. There are a few ones, and I notice I just cannot stand to watch them. I like the quality of what's on their account, but I don't like their delivery on it. So I'm slowly getting rid of those, and that's actually really important. You're literally detoxing toxic people from your life, and that's good. It's worth it. And there's been like minor things, like I posted a couple of days ago and I wasn't able to post it in my stories and all that other type of stuff, but honestly sometimes it's just good enough for me to continue posting and me to continue fighting and do my best, because that's all I can do. That's all I have control over, and that makes me happy because I don't have to let little things ruin my day. And I have people in my life that I can talk to that can get me back on track and say, let it go, because this person isn't going to hear you, or that person isn't going to understand, or maybe you need to say it this way, stuff like that. I have people who can give me different ways of bouncing back and remind me that I have the option to walk away. Do whatever makes you happy, if it's drawing or painting or listening to music, doing puzzles, read a book, whatever it is that makes you happy and helps you to keep your boundaries in place, really, because it's hard. It's really hard. So I love you. Have a happy day. Well, happy night now. And I believe in you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And as always, go deep on the police. Thanks.